So here's a cool little lesson on learning the notes in a food way. So this I like to call the grilled cheese method to learning the notes. So the way that we're going to look at this is that there's 6 different octave shapes. So what I mean by octave is meaning that they're the same notes. So those 2 notes are the same. 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 Same and same. So what we can do is we can kind of think about this as a grilled cheese. So usually most people cut their grilled cheese in half, like the triangle, right? So what we do is we like to split things up. So what we'd want to do is we want to find our C. We're going to go with the note C, right? So we got our chromatic scale, the whole 12 tones, blah, blah. So what we want to do is we want to take our low E here, and then we want to count up the chromatic scale. So we got E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, and then C. So we got that. So there's our C. Now to create this octave shape, we want to skip the A string here, and then we want to put our 3rd finger on the 10th fret D string. So we got a shape that looks like this. So there, that's your first half of the piece of bread, right? We're going to call this octave shape 1. So then our octave shape 2 for the other part of the bread is this same exact shape on strings 6 and 4, but moved down to strings 5 and 3. So everything drops a string. But first, in order to do that, we want to find our next C. So our next C on the A string, we would count up. So we got A sharp, B, and then C. So there's our C. So now we want to take that same shape that we just played and now move it and play it on strings 5 and 3. So there we go. So that is octave shape 2. So these are the same shape, but played in different areas. And I'm just changing by a string, moving everything down what we call a string set. So those are our first 2 octave shapes. So that's grilled cheese 1. Okay, I love this. Now grilled cheese 2, we have this octave shape. So where our 3rd finger was on that D string, if we go to our first octave shape, we want to shift now. So we want to put our pointer finger on the 4th string instead, and then we want to skip 2 frets. So we're going to skip the 11th fret, 12th fret, and then we're going to put our pinky on the 13th fret. So we got 4th string, 2nd string. So those are our C's there. So that's the first half of the 2nd grilled cheese. And then now, if we go back to our 2nd octave shape for the first grilled cheese on strings 5 and 3, so check this out. Where my 3rd finger is, again, because we're using the same type of shape, right? We want to move our pointer finger up now to the 3rd string, 5th fret, and then the 8th fret on the 8th fret on the high E. So what we're doing here, we got strings 4 and 2, and then 3 and 1. So we're just taking that same shape just like we did with the first 2 octave shapes and just dropping them down a string set. So now for our next octave shape, think of our C major chord, right? And then we just want to place our pointer finger, 2nd string, 1st fret, and then 5th string, 3rd fret. So that's our 5th octave shape. So that right there, we got grilled cheese 1, octave shape 1 and 2, so which is this. Grilled cheese 2 is, then grilled cheese 3 is a half a grilled cheese, which is our C major. So half of grilled cheese there. Now the last octave shape, the 6th octave shape, I like to call the lame octave shape. So our C is at the 8th fret, right? Because our low E and our high E are the same. So what we want to do is we just want to place whatever finger you want to use. 6th string and then 1st string all on the 8th fret. So as you can see, there's a line, right? And the reason why I call it a lame grilled cheese is because who likes to cut a grilled cheese right down the middle? It doesn't work when you try to put it in soup. So on this lesson, there will be a picture that explains all this, as well as the shape of the octave shapes. So all the octaves together actually creates a W, which is pretty sweet. So when you're connecting notes together, you want to go to your lowest notes possible, right? So if you were to connect this together with all the C's the way they should be connected, you would start with your C major shape, right? And then because our 3rd finger is here at the 5th string, we want to move it over with our pointer finger and then play octave shape 2. So strings 5 and 3. Now because our 3rd string is a C right here, we want to shift, pointer finger, and then we're going to use that octave shape 4, and then 3, 1, and then we're going to do the lame grilled cheese, and then we're going to shift, play that 1st octave, and then we're going to shift, and we're going to play the 3rd octave. So we got 5th octave, 2nd octave, 4th octave, 6th octave, 1st octave,